Good morning, y'all. As promised, we're going to go through some essential problems that will help you prepare for your Chapter 1 test on Thursday. All right, so we're starting with Topic 1. Topic 1 was all about the key features of functions. Key features of functions. And to help you guys kind of review, we'll be going through problems 7 and 8. Now they want me to identify the domain and range of the function in set builder notation. Find the zeros of the function, then determine for which values of x the function is positive and for which values of x it is negative. Now for your test, I'm only worried about you guys using interval notation. So don't worry so much about set builder. So to identify my domain and range, remember that my domain is my x values. In my range, I'm only concerned about my y values. So we'll start with function number 7. My domain, my smallest x value is -5. My largest x value, well, it looks like with this arrow, that means that it keeps going on and on and on and on. So I know that this goes towards positive infinity. So my domain is -5 to positive infinity. Now, I use parentheses over here because it's an open circle. And you know that you can never include infinity. All right, moving on to my range. My range is my smallest y value. So if I'm looking at my graph, my smallest y value happens down here to your largest y value. My largest y value happens up here. The y value at this small point is -4. The y value at the larger point is +1. So my range is from -4 to +1. Now, because my function runs through these points, -4 is included, +1 is included. So that is my range. It asks me to find the zeros of the function. The zeros of the function is just a fancy way to say my x-intercepts. I have an x-intercept here. And then I look like I intercept the x-axis again over here. So my x-intercepts are 1 and 3. Do I have any y-intercepts? I have one y-intercept at -1. Okay. And now I have to determine where my function is positive and where my function is negative. So remember, for positive, it's where my function is above the x-axis. So my function is positive. It looks like I'm from 1 to 3. My function is positive from 1 to 3. Where my function is negative is where it's below the x-axis. My function is negative from -4 to 1. And from 3 to infinity. I want you guys to notice how I broke the negative intervals up into two. And that's just because the negative intervals are broken up by a section of your graph that became positive. Okay, moving on to the next one. We have, we're gonna do the same thing for this one that we did for the other one. I think I'll leave my pen red, it's easier to see. So the first thing I need to do is find my domain in range. My domain, my smallest x value is -5. My largest x value, because I have this arrow, I'm going to infinity. Because it's an open circle at -5, -5 is not included. And you know you can never include infinity. Now for my range, I'm going to find my smallest y value, which is -4, and my largest y value, which is +1. Because my function runs through those points, I know that they are included. And then I'm going to find my x-intercepts. I have an x-intercept at 2. I have a y-intercept at -2. I have a y-intercept at -2 down here. Now, I need to go through and find my intervals where I am positive and negative. So, I am positive wherever I'm above the x-axis. So I'm positive from 2, and then it looks like I stay positive on into infinity. So from 2 to infinity, I'm positive, because those are the only areas where my graph is above the x-axis. And then it looks like from -5 to 2, I am negative, so I'm below the x-axis from -5 to 2. One thing that you're going to want to review as well is increasing and decreasing. So remember, we know that our function is decreasing, because imagine that I have a ball. If my ball is able to just roll downhill, I'm decreasing. If I have to push the ball uphill, I'm increasing. And we don't know how to handle something like this yet, where we are just constant. One thing that I will challenge you guys to do is try to complete number 9. You won't have one like this on your test, but it really helps you conceptualize and view everything that's going on.